Welcome into a brand new episode of the Foul Pole to Foul Pole podcast. I'm your host, Coach Tyler from Black Diamond Softball and Fitness. As always, we are presented by the Carolina Patriot Collegiate League. Check us out at cpatriotcl.com to register, and fans, you can stay up to date with all the information. This episode is brought to you by the Nexus Mount. Our turnkey kits provide a secure and hassle-free way to attach multiple devices to any fence, net, or tripod. Crafted from lightweight aluminum with a powder-coated finish, our mounts are built to last. That's not all. Our innovative design features a removable shade cover to protect your devices from direct sunlight during outdoor streaming events, minimizing the risk of overheating. Don't settle for anything less than perfection. Unleash the full potential of your streaming experience with the Nexus Mount. Visit us today at thenexusmount.com and elevate your game. All right, let's jump right into it. Today is Wednesday, April 24th. We got a good one for you today. Got something on my mind, and I want to get your opinion on it, to be honest. See if I'm just way off track with this, or, are you guys feeling the same as I am? I see a lot of teams around this area. Well, not really a lot, a few, I guess, that they punish errors and strikeouts by having them run foul pole to foul pole. And that's, for me, that's just not my mentality. That's not my coaching style to punish for mistakes that are just a part of the game. So softball is a game of failure, of course, just like it is in baseball and some other sports, whatever. But, mistakes are going to happen. And softball is one of those sports where confidence is, a premium, because hitters, I don't care how great of a swing you got, how good your timing is, how much work you put into it. The number one thing for a hitter is to get in that box full of confidence, right? Knowing that they got a shot, knowing that they're looking at beach balls coming in. And you have these young minds, you have these immature minds, these brains that aren't fully developed. And we're talking 7th, 8th graders all the way up into juniors and seniors that are, in these moments. Some of them are in these moments for the first time, these big time moments, whatever. They put a lot of pressure on themselves. They're playing in front of mom and daddy and friends and siblings and aunts and uncles and grandpas, and they're putting this pressure on themselves. Well, when they're up there, they're thinking to themselves, if I strike out, I have to run after the game in front of everybody. I'm on full display in front of everybody, and I'm running because I struck out. And when you flip it over to the defense, the kids don't want to make an error. They don't want the spotlight on them. They know in that moment, everybody is following the ball, waiting for the play to be made. And then when it goes between the legs or caroms off the glove or something like that, it's boom, it's an error. They've already punished themselves enough immediately. Those first 2 seconds after they've committed that error, mentally, they can't be any lower, because they want to make that play. Like, boom, here's my opportunity to make a play, and I just botched it. So now the rest of the game, that's on their mind. That next ball that's hit to them, they're thinking about that error. I don't care how strong-minded they are. They're already thinking about that error because they've made that mistake. They're kids. They're not professionals. That's just how it is. Okay, if you say that, no, well, my daughter just washes it and moves on to the next. So, hey, kudos, good on her. But I guarantee you she doesn't do it every time. So when they make a mistake, we're punishing them for a mistake that is clearly a part of the game. You watch any softball. I talked to Coach Scotty Kilgore from UTC, and I asked him point blank, hey, Coach, have you ever seen a collegiate game played without mistakes? And we both laughed a little bit about that. And he's like, no, there's always something. There's always some mistake that is made, because the game is so fast, because there's so much going on. There's so many things out there, and we're asking a lot from these young athletes, and rightfully so. It's a beautiful game, and that's what makes the game. But for me, that's what separates softball from all the other sports. Such a beautiful game, and it's so fast-paced, and there's so many things that can happen. Field conditions can make a ball take a weird hop, and then we see these plays that are made that's like, holy crap, she's not even supposed to make that kind of play. So getting back to the punishment versus positive reinforcement. I've been coaching. I've been around young ball players a long time. Let's see. My oldest is 16 now. So I've been around the game for 12 years. And I've always gotten the best response out of a player that isn't afraid to fail. It doesn't matter the age, whether we're talking 4 and 5 year olds playing t-ball, picking a glove up for the first time, having fun, or we're talking about coaching seniors, high school seniors that will just play with not necessarily reckless abandon, but just play all out and not afraid to make a mistake. They don't want to make that mistake. They don't want to commit the error. They want to catch that pop up. They want to field that ground ball. They want to make that good throw. They're not doing it on purpose to where they need to be punished for making that error. They don't need to be punished for, a strikeout. What if they, foul off 6 pitches, right? They get to a 2-2 count. They foul off 6 pitches, and the girl throws an absolute just gem, and she swings and misses over top, right? But during that at bat, she was able to, maybe hold out a bunt or something and do her job as far as getting the runner to steal. So she did a big part. She moved a runner. Maybe it's a pass ball or something like that. That kid's going to get punished because she struck out. She had a 9-10 pitch at bat, but she doesn't, get talked to by the coach and say, hey, that was a great at bat. Good job. She gets slammed by the coach after the fact of, we got to put the ball in play. We got to hit the ball hard. What you up there, striking out, swinging at bad pitches or this or that. It's that strikeout that he cares about or she cares about. And so now that kid, the confidence is shook. And we go back to the beginning of this. Confidence is everything in softball, man. And I see it all the time. And I talk to my players quite often about stop being afraid to fail. I'm that coach that you do not have to be afraid to fail. I don't want that in your mind. You're going to make mistakes, and we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about what we saw, what we did, what could we do better. But you're not going to get in trouble for trying to make a play. That, to me, that is the old way of coaching, and it clearly doesn't work anymore. That old mentality of I've got to be some hard ass in front of everybody else. And I sat and I've thought about this for, I guess, since the year has started. And I've talked to my own daughters about this. And I've talked to different players about, how this unfolds and how this works out or whatever. And, right or wrong, I don't care. It's an honest opinion on it. When I talk to these players and they're up there, after they commit an error and they're on one of these teams that are coached by one of these small-minded coaches, and they commit an error or they strike out, they think about that the rest of the game. I've got to run foul poles now. So they're not mentally into that game. Now, you can say, well, that's on that kid. She's got to switch gears. She's got to, put it out of her mind, whatever. Absolutely. If that kid was 25 years old and they were an adult, absolutely. Hey, you got to just put that aside. But when we're talking about it in a region game and they're in it, they're giving you everything they've got. They're playing for you to win this game. They're playing for themselves. They're playing for their teammates. They're doing everything they can to win this game. But knowing I've already messed up and I have to go run a foul pole in front of everybody that's still here, in front of this other team, in front of these other parents, in front of everybody else. I'm on full display for an error that I made. Now, here's the thing. Game changer and stats. This is it. It is subjective to the person that puts them in. So it could be a shot that's probably a single, but you dove and were able to get your glove on it, right? And that guy puts it in game changer as an error because he's a complete buffoon, right? That head coach goes and looks at game changer real quick, tallies up the errors. Okay, hey, you got a lap. Not even knowing in that situation that jackass put it in as an error on a ball that she dove, got horizontal, and it tipped off of her glove. But he put it in as an error. He fat fingered it, or whatever that saying is, and put it in erroneously, right? An error. And now that kid's got to run. It's like, well, wait a minute, man. I just sold out completely, knocked the breath out of myself trying to save this run right here. And the reward for that is having to run a lap. Now, mind you, hey, we're dealing with the youth here. We're dealing with children. We're dealing with 15, 16, 17-year-old kids here. Mentally, they need everything we can give them to stay positive because we're still molding their minds. You've been put in a position, you've been put in charge of molding these young minds. So we shouldn't beat them down at every chance we get. That mentality has been proven to be wrong. We don't have to beat them up. We don't have to. Here's a perfect case scenario last night. 2 outs, extra innings, bottom of the 8th, right? Runner on second, 2 outs. A ball hit up the middle to the center fielder. Third base coach, head coach, decides to send that runner home from second. The center fielder fields the ball, and the runner is 1 step behind third base when she fields that ball, coming up throwing. And I'm telling you, this youngin' that's out there in center field is an athlete, man. Probably the best athlete that team had on the field. They got a bunch of them, but she probably can play any position. Just comes up and throws a dart, right? Gets the girl out probably 2 or 3 steps before she ever gets to the plate. Now, the coach is trying to win the game. He's trying to do everything he can to win this game or at least tie this ball game up at this moment, right? He's giving maximum effort. I'm sending this youngin' home. I'm doing what I think is right. He's doing what he thinks is right. He's trying his hardest. But it doesn't go his way, and he ends the ball game against a crosstown rival. Ends the ball game. Now, he's not going to go run a foul pole, but he made an error. He made a coaching error last night. If it would have worked out, if it would have panned out, great. Great call, coach. Now let's flip it to the ball player. She's giving every bit she's got. She's going all out, giving maximum effort on the play. She doesn't want to make a mistake. She wants this play to be made. It doesn't go her way. She misthrows it, pulls a first baseman off the bag. It's an error on her. Now she has to run. She didn't want to make that error. She tried her damnedest to get the out. She did everything she was supposed to do. But now she's got to run. She's in the box. Game on the line. Bases loaded, 2 out, full count. And she swings and misses through a strike. She didn't go up there. She's battling, right? She didn't go up there to strike out. But she's going to get punished in that moment. Do you think she's going to be mentally prepared and ready the next time she's in the box in a big moment? Hell no, because the coach don't have her back. The coach don't have confidence in her. He's got a get out of jail free card. He's got something in his back pocket. Well, if she gets out or she strikes out, if she strikes out right here, she's going to run. So she either better get us a hit and we win the game or she's running. That's not coaching. That's letting your ego decide what you want everyone else to see. That's what that is. So anyway, friends, parents, players, coaches alike, let me know if I'm way off base on this. Should we be punishing athletes for things that are a part of the game? Should we be punishing athletes when they commit an error by making them run foul pole to foul pole? Should we be punishing athletes after they strike out in the game, making them run foul pole to foul pole? What are we doing to young athletes in their mind? What are we doing as far as putting them on display? What are we doing? All right. Don't forget to check out the sponsors, cpatriotcl.com. Check them out. Summer League up in Fayetteville, June and July this year. Going to be a lot of fun. Also, check out thenexusmount.com. Whether you got a GoPro, a Mevo, a cell phone, there is a mount for you to catch these games, catch these practices, these warm-ups, whatever you're trying to do. They got them where they can connect to the fences. Just a whole bunch of stuff. Go check them out. And when you do, make sure you tell them Coach Tyler sent you. If you know a friend that likes this type of stuff, wants to listen to a podcast, make sure you share it with them. And as always, if you share it with a friend, be sure you tell them you love them.